Hello, welcome to Hope for Flint. I'm your host, Kristen Wolosinovich, and next to me really needs no introduction to many of you, especially in the city of Flint, Walter Robert McAdow, owner, designer, jeweler, and king stud of the city of Flint, Flint Trading Co. Hello, sir.
Greetings.
Well, I'm so
Nice to be here.
Well, I'm so excited to have you. And as you can see, we're major celebrities, so don't look us in the eye. It's why we have our sunglasses on today.
It's summer out there, folks.
It's sunny, sunshine in the city of Flint.
Finally.
Finally. So I want to talk a little bit about your historic landmark business located downtown Flint. What's the physical address off Saginaw Street?
629 and 1/2. South Saginaw.
629 and a half South Saginaw, and you are amazing. So you're a jeweler, you're a designer, you're a creative beyond words. Tell us a little bit about your history here in the city, growing up here.
Well, I didn't grow up here.
Well, I knew that.
Oh,
Where'd you grow up, and why did you pick the city of Flint?
I grew up in a lot of different places.
You did?
Yes.
Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Chicago. I grew up in Portland, Oregon, and California,
Were you
the San Francisco
Were
area.
you a military brat?
No.
What was it?
My dad was a cop, state trooper, and stuff like that.
Oh, a state trooper. State troopers travel like that?
No, he was just briefly with them. So
I was gonna say, what's it like growing
he was
up
in
with
law enforcement.
Oh, did you like that?
No, I couldn't get away with anything.
I would think you couldn't, sir.
So
And you have such an amazing personality, and you are a true creative. Was he a stickler? Did he run a tight ship at home?
Oh, he was a control freak.
So do you think you were more like your mom? This is like a therapy session.
Yeah.
I don't want to go deep like that.
I did not expect it to go this way,
yeah,
folks.
Sorry. Hey.
It all started a long time ago with my mother. And I was trying to learn how to use the restroom properly. No.
With
Freud.
Cheerios. Yeah, right. Yeah, we're going deep.
I'm probably a little bit more like my mother, but,
Yeah.
but actually, it's not uncommon for like children of very controlling authoritarian personality types to become very creative types.
Really? Like,
it's kind
you
of
look
a
at Preacher
reaction
Kid,
formation.
like a PK, right? Like
Yeah.
a preacher's kid.
It's kind of a reaction formation.
I watch Footloose. I'm very educated about preacher's kids and what's the word the adolescent when you go against authority, the anarchy. And maybe I experienced it myself.
Rebellion.
That's exactly right.
Part of becoming an adult.
So you also,
I'm still trying to become an adult. That's
me
the problem.
too. I feel like we're the same.
I'm just channeling my inner 12-year-old.
I feel like we're the same person.
I meant to get a haircut for today. I don't want to get a haircut.
So, okay, let's talk about the jewelry real quickly. When did you start making jewelry? Did it start with macaroni noodles in first grade?
How'd you know?
Stringing them.
Three King Wiseman. No, actually, I'm actually a metalsmith.
Oh,
so
okay.
I actually learned all about the properties of metals with fine jewelry up into steel. So I've done steel railings for homes and things like that also.
Oh. When did you get into that craftsmanship?
It wasn't until later in life. I thought I was going to follow in my father's footsteps. And also I was in psychology, and then I was looking for an outlet.
What diversity? Seriously, though.
Trying to help people all day long, and it's hard. You don't see the fruits of your labor, so I took up a hobby.
Yeah, well, and it could have been an outlet. Like, I grew up where you grew up with a father in law enforcement. I grew up with a mother who was a therapist. So, lesser of two evils, right?
That explains a lot to us right now, everybody.
Look at us, everyone. But what I'm saying with that, I know from the psychology standpoint, back then, she retired here from City of Flint, actually. She was a therapist downtown. And you take on a lot of people's energy, and it could be stressful even for your own person. So I think a lot of times people take up that creative outlet to kind of release or, de-stress or whatever, meditate. And do you think that's what you did before it had a name?
Hobby?
Well, I knew I wasn't going into therapy because I didn't have time for other people's problems. I just didn't have time. She went into, look at me now. Is it your interview or is this my interview?
Sorry.
They went into medical.
I do that to people.
They became RNs. I come from a line of RNs because back then, a lot of women, baby boomers, went into education, or they became RNs, or they became teachers, or they went, especially here in Genesee County, into the automotive field. I'm giving you
You're
some
not old enough to be a baby boomer.
Flint
I'm sorry.
background. I'm not. I'm talking about my parents were baby boomers.
Okay. I got you.
I'm a Gen Xer. So I think people who go into the medical field automatically know that's something innate. They love medical. I always knew I didn't love medical. I knew I liked to talk a lot. Who knew?
Really?
And I went, my undergrad's in mass communications. And then I have a master's in business. So it's okay.
Awesome.
All right, enough about me.
Oh, okay.
That would be a
Back
5-hour show. So long story short, the psychology, did you always want to go into that? That's a very fascinating industry to be in.
No, I went into psychology because I didn't know what else I wanted to do with my life.
Okay.
And everybody has kind of a vernacular for psychology. I mean, we all know a little bit about psychology. And then I just got really good at it. And I was pretty good at it to begin with. So
You're not the first person who has told me that. They pick psychology because it will serve them well in whatever industry they ultimately choose to be in.
certainly.
Okay. So then with the metal craftsmanship, how did that come into your world?
Well, that became an outlet. I wanted to start doing something where I could actually see and feel the fruits of my labor.
Okay.
So it was more of a hobby at first, and I took a few classes through a local store down where I lived in Birmingham.
Okay.
And from there, I became obsessed. And actually, I would start working on something in the evening, and all of a sudden it'd be morning and the birds were chirping. And I was like, aha, I have lost complete track of time. Like I lose my sense of time. And it was right then that I knew this is what I was supposed to do.
That's the universe and Jesus.
Yeah. So,
If you're religious.
and even then, I went back and forth between the psychology field and metalsmithing quite a bit.
Wow. How old were you?
Whoa.
Last year, you were 28?
It was a while ago.
Got it. So you're in Birmingham. How did your journey lead you to the city of Flint, just out of curiosity?
Well, I was only in Birmingham a brief period of time, but I took up an apprenticeship with somebody that got their MFA at Cranbrook in metalsmithing, and then
oh, wow. Cranbrook, very impressive. Name dropper. Yes.
and then I actually Jiro J. Masuda, if you're out there, and then I bought a house in Ferndale in the mid '90s.
Fashionable?
Well, it wasn't fashionable back then.
No, but it was on its way.
It was just starting. Royal Oak was really starting to pick up steam and happen, and it looked like Ferndale was the next spot.
On its way.
And there was a lot of creative tension around the neighborhoods and stuff like that. And that's how I ended up there. I bought a house there. And in 2016, I was up here visiting, and I kind of felt a similar feeling that I did back in Ferndale in the mid-90s.
Cool.
And I was like, this is going to be an adventure. I mean, Ferndale's great.
No offense to Ferndale.
No offense to you,
Listen, we
Ferndale.
don't want letters.
They're
Please
super
don't call
great.
us.
Yeah, I mean, it is hipster heaven there, and I love it. And there's great restaurants,
great.
and I was right in downtown.
beautiful.
I could walk anywhere all the time, but I wanted a new adventure, and Flint. Like the feeling here reminded me of those feelings in Ferndale.
Those early old school Ferndale days. Well,
exactly.
And the reason why I say that.
Yeah, there was a deja vu around the corner and stuff like that for me
because
back then.
2016 was probably still, it was a very rough time for the city.
Yes.
They still were recovering from the water crisis. There was still massive inner turmoil politically, which there still is, but we digress. But you were seeing early stages, and then also had the vision and the foresight to know, wow, this city and these people are pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw the early stages of development here, really starting, and there are a large number of creatives here, and there's just like that
beautiful.
kind of tension in the air that was very appealing to me, and people were, I don't know, I kind of like it.
They're cool.
And
not
obviously
all
it wasn't, it isn't Ferndale and Flint, but I mean, this place is a good place.
It's a beautiful place. And I have to tell you, having grown up here, it really is Ferndale. I mean, it will be Ferndale. It is the progressiveness and getting back to where it has been in the past is we're on our way. We're on the path. You'll start to see it grow exponentially, and you will see, shades of Royal Oak, shades of Ferndale. With Detroit being our sister city, and the reason I know this, because I know a lot of things, I'm super smart, but I did a lot of work in Detroit, probably about 7-8 years ago. And Detroit's our sister city, of course. Right. And it was going through terrible, terrible times, but it was a time that Dan Gilbert was coming in, and then you started to see the shift, and you started to see the growth. And I think that is what now you're seeing here within the city. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, roughly parallels that. Flint has some advantages over Detroit, though.
Oh, big time.
Yeah,
big time.
The meds, the schools, and things like that. I mean, there's schools in Detroit, but they have like Wayne State and CCS, but we have like 3 or 4 different colleges, and we have the meds going. So, I mean,
it's
huge.
Cool.
I love the history of this town. The funny thing is, I don't live by, and I don't want to upset people, but I don't live by the same kind of. I don't have the same narrative in my head. I don't see like, oh, Flint, was this. I don't. Everything's new to me here.
I love that.
I came here purely out of. I came here because of the assets that I saw, not because of the things that people talk about and say, oh, poor Flint,
Walter, but that's why I adore you, because you do have kind of those fresh eyes on what you see within the city. And you don't come in and say, oh, this is what it used to be. No, you come in and you're like, well, this is what I see. And you're very thoughtful and you're very honest.
Let's make it great, people.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And I agree with you about having its advantages over, really, if you want the truth, over a lot of Southeast Michigan. The traffic's horrendous down there. The parking's horrendous.
It's terrible.
The price to live is horrendous. It's insane, and it's overly populated.
All right, parking is bad in downtown
You
Flint,
can breathe
folks.
here. And I'm not saying it's not going to get worse or better as we continue to grow. But here's the other side of the coin. Flint is the birthplace of General Motors, a huge, heavily dependent automotive city. As soon as the automotives left, now you see, like you just said, you brought up a beautiful point, the shift into education and into healthcare. And we are shifting just fine. We are resilient, we are strong, and you are perfect because you are exactly what we're looking for. Walter McAdow comes in, we're bringing in talent, they're moving here, and they're planting their flag. You are exactly what Hope for Flint is all about.
Well, I'm only one thing.
Mic drop.
Only one aspect of it. We need it all. There's such great history in this town.
I know, but it's cool. You're exactly
I love coming here as a metalsmith because I've worked in jewelry stores in like Birmingham and Royal Oak and with places that are really fancy, okay? And I love working with customers here because, especially like people in Flint, like they might not hit the upper budget. They're not looking for the big, huge diamond
the upper echelon
on a piece of wire.
Of the socioeconomic, but...
Well, no, they
some are.
Well, some are, some aren't. I mean, but basically what people are more interested in is they're more interested in telling a story and the pieces that they ask me to make for them.
Great storytelling isn't it?
It's amazing. That was one thing that I did not foresee when I moved here. So I would much rather do the $600 custom-made necklace than the $3,000, necklace where I just put a big, huge stone on a piece of metal.
Wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have asked Walter to make me a custom pair of earrings.
Oh, I made 2 pairs of earrings for you.
Yay. So you're going to see it here. It's exclusivity.
Well, I worked on a whole bunch of different forms for you, Crystal. So I'll show you. I'll show you. Kristen, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm
thinking
about
you
crystals.
Put crystals in it. Yes.
I've been working with.
There better be crystals and diamonds and rubies.
I've been working with making leaf forms.
Look at that.
And I'm hand pounding these. This is called a technique called fold form. And then I hammer a texture into these leaves. And these are kind of my warm-ups.
I love that.
Because you wanted something really big, right?
I did, because I feel like I got to kind of Big mouth. I did
You
say
got a
it.
big personality.
Yes. And so you knew that coming into it. So because you said, well, we got to talk about this a little bit. Mm-hmm. Gosh, those are great.
So I made you 2 things to choose from.
Yay. I love this, Walter. Walter, this is exciting. I love sitting next
Look
to you.
at these babies. That's big.
Thank you, Walter. Look
Okay.
at those.
But wait, I made you another.
I have choices.
In case you didn't like those.
Well, it's funny because when I put this task in front of you, I also told you I need choices.
Right. You're like that. Yeah.
Wow, how
And
cool
then
are
the
these?
other one is like when I like to fabricate directly in metal. Now, as a jeweler, I know that sometimes I have to cast things and I have to carve in a wax and stuff like that. And then it's called lost wax casting and
We're getting technical.
I love to work directly in metal whenever I can, basically.
Okay,
So
very cool.
my other pair, so I do a lot of stuff called fold forming. I like to fold metals. I think it's from living out west. I was in the mountains and going through the mountains as a kid. I was pretty heavily influenced by that.
I love that.
And I think it's plate tectonics. Anyway, so I do a lot of fold forming. So these are called the nymph earrings.
Oh, you know what? Those really speak to me, actually.
And they are,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so.
These are great.
And they're actually called the nymph earrings because I was
Yeah,
working on the forms and showing them into customers as they came into the store.
So I'm sorry.
And this one gal said, "Oh my gosh, I got to get these. These are like nymph earrings."
You know,
So-
tell me again, what influenced you for the shape of these? You said the mountains.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm going to tell you why.
Tectonics
I'm going to tell you why.
You know, plate tectonics is what forms mountains and things like that. The plates, the different plates dive underneath each other. They fold, they crush in each other, things like that. And on my trips out west, in the mountains, I'm just awestruck by how beautiful and majestic the mountains are, and what a big, huge, happy accident it is. This is the same kind of thing. This is like happy accident jewelry, except there are no accidents.
There are no accidents.
And even in God's mountains, those mountains, if you could play it all out, everything's connected. It's all connected. The Indians had it right. I mean,
They did.
Native Americans
And our
understood that it was
ancestors.
all connected.
So I'm going to tell you why these are so special to me and why I'm going to choose these and why.
Because they look like diamonds?
Yes. Because it's very funny that you mentioned that. I just had my family reunion with my Flint family.
Yeah.
And we started talking about one of my favorite great uncles. So I told like 3 stories of my time in the mountains with him
Oh, what mountains?
in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So these are it. You complete me. Thank you so much. These are beautiful. And you're amazing. This is beautiful. And I love the back history. I love the creative side of it. I love your thought process when you are developing these and designing these. And you brought other things too. Show me what else
I
you
just
have.
brought some rocks because I have a problem. I like lots of rocks. This is another fold form pendant.
Crystals. Okay. So this
Yeah,
is a
crystals.
This is a full form pendant. Okay, very good. And then what is that you have right there?
These are stones.
Oh, very cool.
Now,
Are they
we
crystals?
like stones at Flint Trading Co., but I'm kind of weird about them because I don't want to just set them in anything. So I'm always
Do you
waiting
put
for
them
the
in
right person.
rings?
I put them in rings. I put them in earrings. I put them in necklaces. It's whatever,
What you're feeling in the story.
It's what I'm feeling, and it's what the customer that I'm making this thing for. And a lot of stones are so precious to me that I can't bring myself to mount it until the right customer comes along and says, I have to have this stone.
Okay. So that leads me now, Walter. How can people get a hold of you? Because you're amazing. They can walk in, but it's appointment only, isn't it?
Flint Trading Co. is on Instagram and on Facebook.
Flint Trading Co. It's not com. It's not
Right.
company. It's Flint Trading Co.
Yeah.
So check him out, but also too, they can call and set up an appointment.
Well, I'm usually in the store Wednesdays through Saturdays.
Okay.
11 to 6ish.
11 to 6.
Sometimes
go in,
I'm there more often, but the best thing to do is if
and he's upstairs.
Yeah, I'm upstairs. The best thing to do is to call me, and I'm like trying to look up the phone number because I can't remember.
He doesn't know his own phone number. Just kidding. He does.
No,
but sometimes you don't.
I don't, guys. I don't.
And the downstairs is a t-shirt. You'll see the t-shirt company, but you go upstairs to Flint Trading Co., and that's where Walter
I'm kind of
resides.
sandwiched between Cork and Flint City t-shirts.
And you're by right here, our downtown Ferris wheel
The
studio.
Ferris. Yeah.
So here's this number.
Great place to get a coffee. 810-820-7119.
One more time.
810-820-7119. Yeah, and if you're interested, just give me a buzz. I'll pretty much meet anybody anytime they want to meet for a private consultation.
Perfect. Walter McAdow. Walter Robert McAdow. I absolutely adore you. Will you come? You'll come. I'm not even going to ask.
It is pretty rock.
Look at that. Yes, I will marry you.
That's actually a hand-cut gemstone. It's called a medicine wheel cut.
I can't believe you picked out that color too. We'll talk about this offline. I think, oh my gosh, you are my spirit animal. So thank you so much for coming on Hope for Flint. Like we said, you know what? Usually, like we say, it's people, and a lot of people come in. They say, "Yep, born and raised. This is my city." I love your story. I love that this is your new city. You are exactly who needs to be moving into the city. You are exactly who we need, and you are very magical. Thank you. And thank you for my earrings. You have no idea how much this means to me. So check out Walter McAdow. Again, Flint Trading Co. He's upstairs. He's there, like you said, Wednesday through
Saturday, 11 to 6. Second Sunday of every month.
He's there. Call him. Check him out on Instagram. Check him out. Check out this jewelry. It's one of a kind. And again, as you heard during the interview, these pieces are very specific, and there's a lot of creativity and a lot of craftsmanship behind each piece. So thank you.
Wow, thanks.
I know. Good. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's like a regular commercial.
10%.
We should have you try on the jewelry next time.
Oh, for sure. I like that jewel you just gave me. So look in the camera right now and say, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Flint. Thank you for supporting me. I've been in business just over a year now. Things have gone better than I thought. I recall an article that came out when I first opened when someone wrote in and said, "Oh, another gallery, just what Flint needs. Another gallery. They'll be gone in 6 months." Well, whoever you were out there.
Walter McAdow, you are, baby, Hope for Flint.
Thanks.